Hey guys, so this is a pretty random video, I know. I've been wanting to make it for a really long time now. It might have edits, it might not, who knows, but I just want to talk about Soulshare's games. Well, not really. I'm not talking about Soulshare's games, I'm talking about commands I want for these Soulshare's games. Specifically UTPR. Because everyone's always wanted, ever since you were a kid. I'm technically still a kid, sort of, but since you were a kid, ever since you've played your first video game, I know you've had that one time that you've wanted to be a raid boss and just beat up other guys, beat up other players, mess around with them. But you don't want it to be too unfair. You don't want to just smack people around. You tap them once, they're gone. You boop this guy on the nose, suddenly he's flying to heaven. Like, you don't want any of that to happen. You just want to have a cool experience where you're just this giant monster or something, and everyone's trying to come after you, and you're just fighting them off, and just having a great time. Now, unfortunately, there are zero things like that on Roblox. However, there's one genre of games that have gotten close to replicating that great experience. So, these are Soulshare's games, or actually no, not just Soulshare's games, Battlegrounds games in general. Because not only did UTPR start off with the boss stuff, but Saitama Battlegrounds is also really compatible for bosses if you don't believe it. Because they have no stun commands, they have no knockback commands, so it's pretty easy to boss raid all those people at once, sort of, not really. And you can modify your damage, although I don't recommend it because you'll be one-shotting them again. But back on track, it's really hard to make a fun boss event in Soulshare's games, because 90% of the time you're either running away, holding block, or you're in the air while getting constantly thrown up by Azrael Shocker Breakers. That's your entire raid boss experience in Soulshare's games. So I thought to myself, what's a command that could really stop this thing from happening? What could really just make things easier for us? Because I'm event staff in a Discord. So I want to try and make people have fun, but unfortunately, these Undertale test place bosses are not fun at all. They are not fun at all. Because 90% of the time, there's 5 Azraels just lined up shocker breaking me into the sky every 2.3 milliseconds. And since I'm always in stun, always in knockback, I'm always getting thrown in the air by Sans Telly 2 like 5 million times, and there's just no way to stop it. So what I always have to end up doing, I have to end up setting my attack to freaking 999, and I have to lock on to everybody. I have to keep smacking them once, killing them, just so I can have a chance at fighting back. That's not fun. That is not fair. That is not fun. None of it is fun. So I came up with a couple commands that could, well, not just, actually, it'll be a more immersive experience instead of it's not just specifically boss commands, just commands I want in general. So we're gonna start off with number 1. Probably saw this coming. The most requested command I want is called Hyperarmor. Now, this doesn't make sense because, it's not really like Hyperarmor, but oh my gosh, why is my thing laggy? There we go. It's not really like... I keep losing my train of thought process every time I ramble on this Oculus headset. Anyways, so it's not really like... Hyperarmor is not going to really be like Super Armor. Super Armor, you all seen it before in UTPR. Asgore, he just Trident 1, you LMB him, Like, it's just not fun. But Hyperarmor actually won't be in the game. It'll just be a command just for people to turn on. Hyperarmor, it's not really like Super Armor in any way. It's more of its own thing. Not get stunned at all, meaning none of your attacks will get cancelled. You cannot get knocked back at all, which means none of your attacks will be cancelled. Which means that those shocker breakers that you're constantly getting hit by, it will launch you into the skies, so you can't. You won't have to set your attack to 999. You won't have to teleport to every single player on the map and LMB them 4 times to one-shot them. You don't have to do that anymore. Cause you could actually play, like, you could pretend like you're a boss. You could actually walk slowly. You could dodge a couple times. There's a really cool thing I used to do with bosses. When I do bosses, I might put a video up here to show. I'd do fire 3 or fire 1, and I'd put my cursor in a circle and spam it, and there'd be multiple circles of fire that just go all over the place, and it just makes a really cool effect. Same with Azrael. Let's say I jump in the air and I spam Shocker Breaker or Galacta Blazing, and all of a sudden, it's a bullet hell, and everyone's trying to run away, everyone's trying to escape. And they can block it, they can do whatever they want to try and survive it, while trying to deal with the boss at the same time. Because there's not a single boss where 16 plus people are fighting them, and there's not a single boss where there's 16 plus people fighting them, and he's getting knocked back, he's not doing anything. He's getting destroyed the entire time, not able to fight back, and all of a sudden, he has to resort to one-shotting you and all your friends. So it's just unfortunate. Sorry. Anyways. So, basically what this command's gonna do, you could actually do the cool things. People could dodge your cool things. Hard mode sands would be cool. For once. Well, hard mode sands, it'd be different, sort of. Because not only do you no longer get knocked back and stuff, but you could use all of your moves. You could use bones, you could use blasters, you could use blaster 3, spread your blasters around the map, spam them around the map, and it'd be hard for people to get hit by them. What I don't recommend is spamming blaster 5 or blaster 4 like an extreme amount, because that's not really that fair. Let's be honest, that's not really fair. But I guess it would be fair. You could use the orange and blue blasters. Like, you could say, keep moving, and then you spam like orange blaster 5s, and then they don't get hit because you told them that they would have to keep moving. You say stop moving, and then you do blue blaster 5 and spam it everywhere, and they'll stop moving, and it won't be unfair because they were warned that they were about to get hit by something like that. That's what I really want to see in these games. That's what I really want to do. I want everyone to have a fun experience when doing these bosses. Alright, on to number 2. Music. Background music. So we all know UTPR's Sandsman 888. That's one of my most viewed videos on my entire channel. The Sandsman 888 videos. I really milked that, but anyways, those videos, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, when you fight Sandsman 888, everything cuts off, all the music cuts off, you see the Bossbar fill, and then you hear the music. That's what I want. Well, not really, not like that. Like, there'd just be a command called, I'm gonna call it toggle background music, or not. It's just gonna be called BGM, and you could set the background music to any game they already have in their thing. So, for example, let's say I wanted X-Frisk's genocide theme. Everyone's gonna hear it, I'm gonna hear it, and we're all gonna have to kill the boss because, I don't know, it just awakens something to fight the boss, and it's cool. That's not really a command that really needs to get added, but it was. Anyways, what's 3? A new command that I want. Oh my gosh, can this thing stop lagging, please? There's no reason to lag. You're doing nothing right now. You're recording a screen. There's nothing to lag about. Anyways, so there's one. There's a couple more commands. Let's see. This one I wouldn't really want added. I want it to be added, but I know it won't be added. It'd just be something that's like, oh wow, that's cool. That would be cool if it was there, but it's not going to be there. Kind of like oh, it'd be cool if a game added this character, but not really. So this command would be completely useless as well. It would be nowhere in public servers, and it'd be really hard to create, which would already just be a no-go. A character creator, yeah, I don't know, man. Basically, in the menu in private servers, for the PS owner, he can create a makeshift character. What I mean by that is, they can basically just steal stuff from other characters and put on one character. Let's say I wanted Asgore's Fire 1, and I want Undyne's Spear 1, and I wanted Undyne's Spear 3, I wanted Spear of Justice, I wanted Hate Ball, and you can put that all on one character for 9 slots in 3 different modes. Maximum, I guess. If there was enough for that, maybe. But this idea is so stupid. I already started talking about it, so there's no point in stopping now. It'd just be cool if this thing was added, honestly, but it's not going to get added. We know it's not going to get added. They're not going to put in that much effort for a thing that's not even going to be added to the game. That's not even going to be in the public game. People will get mad at them for that. So I say you just leave this one. Don't even consider this one. It'd be cool if they did, but I know it won't be added anyway. But this brings us to our next command. This one is basically just like Hyperarmor, and it's pretty much a fusion of most of the things we have already. But that is Funky Friday, by the way. But this command is called the boss command. Now, isn't there already a boss command? That's Bossbar. It makes you have a boss health bar. But what this command does is basically what it does, it gives you the boss bar, right? Gives you super armor, right? Well, no. What? Alright, so I'll just do the command prompt, basically. So the first would be boss. You type boss first. Space. How much white bar would you want? White bar is going to be something completely different that every boss has in most games. White bar is basically, you know, when you're hitting a boss and it has like no stun, you can just keep moving, none of your effects are doing anything to him. But once that little bar depletes, he gets stunned for a little bit. That's what white bar is. Once that white bar depletes to 0, the boss falls to the floor, and you can attack him for a duration. Now, the command that comes after that one is the duration of the white bar stun. You can set how much longer, or how long you want to be stunned on the ground for when you're hit by this eventual white bar stun. And maybe it could do increased damage if you want it to. And then we'll have the last command, orange bar. And once you set that, I'll explain orange bar, I guess. Orange bar, it's not going to be in UTPR, pretty much. Orange bar is just going to be, you know, exclamation mark moves. We love those moves, right? We love those moves, right? basically, let's say I did Delta Bones 2 on a boss. And let's say they got hit by it. It would actually do nothing to them at first. Right? But the orange bar would fill up by like 10%. And if the boss blocked it, it would fill up by like 5%, 2%. Basically, if you hit the boss with enough exclamation mark moves, the boss will eventually automatically get put into one of these exclamation mark moves against their will. So if the bar raises to max, let's say Bones 2 was used the most on Delta. Let's say maybe all the Deltas that did that move would do the move all at once, or maybe just one of them, the most recent one, would do the move and then they would hit them with it. That would be the only move that could give them stun or knockback. That would be the only one. However, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I'm just rambling on and on and on. Why did I make this video? I wanted to make this a video, but I did it in the completely wrong way, and now I'm just gonna have to edit it and publish it out. Nobody's gonna care. Anyways, isn't that pretty much it? That's all I wanted to talk about, right? If there's another thing I would want to talk about, I guess there's not really any other commands I could ask for, honestly. Like, UTPR is like this close to making, well, you can't really see it, but they're like super close to making a great boss thing. If they just add Hyperarmor command, maybe the boss command if they really wanted to. I don't think they should add the character creator, even though I brought it up. And if there's one thing I do want them to add, definitely the music changer, definitely the Hyperarmor at minimum. Or you could turn all of that into the Bossbar command, or just the boss command, not Bossbar. Completely different thing. But yeah, I don't know what I was doing here. So I guess that is the end of the video. Finally, it's your only goal to kill